Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe if you're interested, but no pressure. Okay, we watched House of the Dragon, first episode called Heirs of the Dragon, or Heirs of the Dragon, I think it was. And so I'm gonna try not to give much away here. I'm just gonna kind of give my feelings on it, but also some just general information on it, just in case you haven't seen it. And I don't know, I'm pretty bad at giving a synopsis on the spot because I just finished it maybe 5 minutes ago. So when I'm going to start with the first thing that I noticed. I didn't go back to rewind to make sure I saw this correctly, but what I liked about it was here we are living in an era, because this is like prequel, 172 years or something before Daenerys' birth, maybe something like that. I can't remember. It's a lot of years. We're living in a time where there are lots of dragons, right? Or a handful. I don't know. Dragons are not rare. They're common. People have seen them. And that's what I liked about it, because the show opens with a dragon flying around, and then we are like an aerial view of it, and then it drops down to a low angle looking up at people walking through the town of, what is it called? King's Landing, right? And a dragon flies over their head, but nobody's like this. You know, it's just kind of like they're going about their day. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then, but one thing about that beginning though, it just like said, like House of the Dragon. It didn't say, or it didn't have that great opening that Game of Thrones, the original one, had. We did get that music at the end with like a twist on it, I guess. I don't know, it's a little bit different. We did get that like in the end credits, but we didn't get an opening title sequence that was super epic and you would watch every single time, right? Like, you know, sometimes you skip past the title sequence. That wasn't the case for Game of Thrones, because it did have a little information in it. Where are we going to be located in this episode? This didn't do that. It was just like House of the Dragon, and then it started, but we didn't get the we bow scoop it down do doodle 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 doodle. We didn't get any of that. So that was a little disappointing. I was like, where's the thing? Where's the opening credits? And my wife was like, well, they just had the thing up there. And I was like, I can't believe they didn't give us anything like that. Maybe the next episodes will. I don't know. Did we get that in the first episode of Game of Thrones? Was it that way? I don't remember. I only recall them always doing the opening credits sequence. So I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. I don't know. So this show, I was thinking, is this going to be like Game of Thrones? Is it going to be different, like towns and battles or whatever? Towns and battles? Towns and communities or whatever? Aiming for the throne, trying to get on that throne. And this episode anyway, and maybe the whole show will be this way, because it seems like they've set up, you know, a few heirs to the throne. I think it's going to be more like Succession. If you're watching Succession, does this feel like Succession to you? Where Game of Thrones, it was like all these like little kingdoms and stuff that were aiming for the throne. Here, it's a family aiming for the throne, right? We do get a lot of gore in here. We get some, and this was something I was interested in, would House of the Dragon have nudity in it or not? And it does, but I was wondering, because like when you look at the original, you know, Game of Thrones show, it started out heavy with nudity, and then it really slowed down, and then you weren't getting it as much. I think there were probably even episodes where you didn't get any at all. And I was like, what are they going to do? Like, are they going to... Because they shifted away from that in the flagship, are they going to keep with the less nudity, or are they going to hit us strong with it? And a lot of shows will do that. They'll hit you strong with it at the beginning, get you hooked, and then, you know, slowly take it away. So who knows what's going to happen? I was just curious, you know, are they going to not have it at all? Just sort of like the show sort of ended up being, like the flagship show sort of ended up being. So I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for the future, but it did exist in this episode. It does take a while to, get the character names and who's with who and all of that, and I'm still working on that. Again, I've only seen the one episode. I think that's the only one that's out so far. But I remember that with Game of Thrones, just kind of having a tough time trying to figure out who's who here. Okay, you're this person, you're with this group, you're with this community, and all of that. That was, that took some time, and I feel like this one could as well, but maybe a little less because it seems like we're more so dealing with a family than we are other kingdoms, right? So, let's see. Kingdoms, is that the right word? Realms? No, the realm's the big thing. I don't know. I'm just going to keep saying communities. I know there's probably a better word. The other thing I was going to mention, oh yeah, Winterfell was so nice and cozy and just kind of made you want to grab a blanket and, I don't know, put together a puzzle, drink a hot chocolate or something like that, knit, while you're watching the show. This isn't that way, but it's not like it is the opposite of that, It's just, it doesn't have the coziness that Winterfell had. So I don't know if we're going to get anything like that, but that was what was nice about the flagship, was the cold weather, the chilliness, the all of those feelings. Like you could watch the show in the fall, you could watch the show in the winter and just feel very cozy. And here it's not like screaming any of that. It's just kind of, it feels a little bit more neutral maybe. But it doesn't quite have the coziness of the original show. So that's where I'm at on that. But anyway, there were moments when I was like, I don't know, how much do I care about this? Am I going to keep watching it? But by the end, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to stick around. I'm going to stick with this show. So I don't think I'm going to do like a video on every single episode unless for some reason this video goes viral or something, and then I'm going to feel obligated to. But what I'm guessing is I have this video here, and then I'll do one at the end of the season. But I don't know. If this video does well, then I'll do one for every single episode. Who knows? But anyway, those are my thoughts on the first episode, Heirs of the Dragon, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.